Thanks, Imogen. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
For
Jen.
those who've just joined us, we've got about 5 minutes left until our symposium officially begins. I think, Imogen, we have
Mhm.
a little bit more time to have another piece. So, are
Great.
that okay?
Fantastic. Well, yeah, thank you so much, everybody who's joining us from near and far. Such a delight to play for you. If not live, then from Dublin on Zoom. And I guess that you'd be all really wide awake by now so that you could, I could play something really lively for you. So I'm going to play a set of tunes that I wrote for my cats. And it's called Harry and Polly. And yeah, Harry went missing one day and he was away for about 2 weeks. And I was devastated, as you would be. And anyway, I was having a jam with some friends. And at the end of the evening, he came flying through the window. So I was delighted and I wrote him this tune. So yeah, thanks so much for inviting me and for listening. And I'll be seeing people later as part of a panel. So I'm really looking forward to that. This is Harry and Polly, and enjoy the rest of your day. Woohoo! Thank you. Hope
Thank
you're
you.
all wide awake. You've got your
Wide
teas,
awake.
you've got
Thank
your
you
coffees.
so much, Imogen. It was such a
My
pleasure to
pleasure, Jen.
No, it was such
Thanks
a
so
pleasure to
much. And
have you here
we'll
with
see
us.
you later.
Thank you. And what a way to start our day.
Thank
Um,
you.
Before I officially hand over to SoloSIRENs Director Jenny Macdonald, I'm just going to make you aware of a few guidelines and introduce myself. My name is Jennifer Webster and I'm SoloSIRENs producer. So just a few guidelines for today. Firstly, we are going to be recording today's symposium. If you have any issues regarding that, please email us at solosirens@gmail.com. Following the symposium, give us about a week. We will forward you all the links to the different sections of the symposium. Um, we will use the chat function throughout the day, but that is for the SoloSIRENs team to communicate with you. Should you have any technical issues, please send us an email on solosirens@gmail.com. Following our panel discussions, we will have some Q&A sessions. And if you would like to ask us questions, you can do so using the Q&A function. So you can type your question into the Q&A, and if you would like to ask it live, just type the word live and we will promote you and you can ask that live then. For the majority of the day, you will be attendees and your cameras and your microphones will be turned off. And there's going to be 3 sections of the day where we will ask you to turn them on. Because we kind of want to come together, we want to see everyone and see everyone's faces, but we will notify you of that beforehand. I suppose the last thing for me to do is just say, have a fabulous day. We've been so looking forward to this. So much planning has gone into it. And now I'm going to hand over to our wonderful director, Jenny Macdonald. Jenny.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you so much. Thank you to Imogen. I can't imagine a better way to start the day than with Imogen Gunner's music. That was gorgeous. So you've just met Jennifer Webster, SoloSIRENs producer. I'm loving all the cameras coming on and I'm seeing all these amazing faces and it's really, really exciting. So it's great to see all of you. Wow, there's Joe Salvatore. He's up at 4:45 in the morning in New York. He's got his coffee ready. Amazing. Yeah, so Jennifer Webster and I will be managing the flow of the day. And I also want to introduce 2 very important people. Martha Knight, maybe give a wave, Martha. I know everyone can't see all the screens, but there's Martha. Hi, Martha. Martha is stage managing. She's taking care of our panelists. So Martha, we appreciate you. It is a big job and thank you. And Noelia, I don't know if Noelia wants to be visible just for one moment. Noelia is the magician behind the scenes, behind the screens. Do you want to make yourself visible just to say hi, Noelia? Hello. There she is. There she is.
With lipstick.
With lipstick in Barcelona. Amazing, or near Barcelona. So Noelia and Martha are managing things behind the scenes. Obviously, I know everyone's gotten used to this now in our new online lives. We request your patience sometimes. There's a lot of people. We're delighted that there's a lot of people, but it means sometimes it's going to take time to bring people in and out. So the reason we wanted to be visible for this first moment is because a big part of our philosophy, our approach with SoloSIRENs is to always consider our relationship as an individual to our wider community. So as Jen said, for the optimal experience of the panels today, often you're not visible, but we just wanted to say, we know you're out there. We wanted you to know who else is out there, and we're going to bring you back visible after lunch and again at the end of the day for that reason. And we also thought it would be nice to start the day in a way that we start often with our collective, with the SoloSIRENs Collective workshops and rehearsals. So we often start just by breathing together. And actually that was a practice we started, and then it became an important part of our show in the festival. It became a cue, just taking breath together. So I just wanted to invite you for a moment just to tune into yourself. So really sit firmly on your chair, get your feet firmly on the ground, and just kind of have a second moment of arrival, because maybe there was a rush to the computer, or maybe there was a rush for breakfast, or maybe there were kids to get to school. There's many things that have to happen before we get onto these screens in the morning. So just take a moment to tune into yourself. Notice your own breath. My breath, for example, is a little fast at the moment. So notice how you're breathing yourself this morning. And just take a moment, maybe do you need any little movements in your body that are going to feel good for you right now? Okay, and then if you just put your attention towards the screen, and what we're going to do is we're just going to take 3 breaths together. And I'm going to suggest, if this feels good for you, that we just raise our arms together as we breathe in, and we lower our arms together as we breathe out. Just a little way of moving together. So we're going to do that 3 times together. Okay, so here we go. So we breathe in and we're just raising our arms and looking at all those arms literally around the world going up with us. Have a little stretch when you're up there if that feels good. And then just exhale and let that go down. And we're going to do that 2 more times. Okay, so we're breathing in and we're raising our arms up. And we're breathing out and we're letting our arms go down, taking any opportunities to iron out cricks and cracks while you do it. And then 1 more time. So all of our arms go up together. And then we take a breath out together. Lovely. Ah, great. So again, welcome to the day. I thought I would open the day by reading something. This is something that I recently found. I was on Smashing Time's website and I was looking for something else. And then I found this manifesto that I'd written for them in 2016. In 2016, we had a lot of commemorations going on in Ireland for the Easter Rising of 1916. And Smashing Times asked several artists to write manifestos in response to the time we were in. And what I found fascinating about finding this manifesto again is that it had so many principles of SoloSIRENs in it, but I don't remember thinking those things at the time. So I just think it's an interesting example of how sometimes we're laying tracks for things long before we actually find ourselves doing them. So I thought I would start the day with this. Smashing Times called these an artist's vision for Ireland 2016. So I guess now it's an artist's vision for Ireland 2020. A manifesto. Be brave. Each of us is creative. Different people create different things. Some creations are called arts. The ones I make are called theater. When we create with arts, we can use metaphors and they can help, sometimes heal. They can clarify and they can confirm. This we know. So let's try a metaphor for our society. Staging a show. It's not a new one. It's not original. That's okay. It works. There's enough to fix. Let's keep what works. How do we stage a show? We can rush, and it will work for a moment or two. We will get through one rehearsal or even a whole run, but it won't travel. Things will be missed. People will be overlooked, sometimes abused. We may not notice while we were making it, but the foundations are already rotting. So we have to take time. And that is very hard because taking time does not make money, and lots of us don't have enough of that. It's still a better path. We do it when we watch theater. We take time, we gather, we focus. We need to do it in the making of theater too, and in the living that inspires the making. Then we have to listen, and we may discover there's more to hear than we thought. Maybe if we listen in the moment, we won't have to dig so far into the past for all the stories we never heard. We won't get stuck, bored out of our minds, watching and rehearsing the same shows, patriarchy, racism, social inequality. We've seen them and we haven't benefited from them. So let's take time to listen and to write some new scripts. It's not enough to change costumes or lighting. It will be very uncomfortable. We will need a lot of warm-ups. Body parts may be stretched that have been fixed in position for millennia. But breath will get in, maybe even air, maybe even light. There is no guarantee as to how good the results will be. We don't get to control that part. We just have to be brave and try. There are many things we could try, many things we could do differently. To start, I suggest we try caring and admitting that we care. I don't know yet what that means or what that looks like, but when I pause, when I listen, that is the impulse I hear. If others hear it too, maybe we can start to give it form. It is hard for anyone to be public about caring. It is deemed simplistic, soft, and unintelligent. For women, it is particularly difficult, seen as proof of our womanliness in a world that doesn't like that much. And that is where bravery comes in. We have to be very brave to care. So let's get braver and call it love. Can we be brave enough to love and to create from love? That is not to say we will be liked by or need to like everyone. That is not to say we will not reveal darkness. Love is from a deeper place, far below the vicissitudes of like and dislike, light and dark. Can we dig deep into the intangible well of love that connects us all? The well below the outworn illusion of hyper-individualism, below that truly unintelligent belief that we can make, create, or be anything alone. Be brave and rehearse. So thank you. Oh, that's nice to see that. It's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I hope that today we can be brave, and I hope that we can rehearse some possibilities for change. And I think that to be brave, we need to be gentle with each other, because I hope that we can all tread into each of our own unknown. And I hope we can hold one another gently when we don't know. And I'd love for today to be a space of dialogue, a space where we're trying to learn from each other and to build on our learning, rather than a debate where anybody needs to be right. So that's my hope for the way that we can move through the day.